What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today, I am not reviewing anything, sorry. I am gonna be defending, in my opinion, the second best Jurassic Park film, Jurassic Park Lost World. But before I get into that, I watched Fast X because I did a poll on Twitter, and pretty much all of you voted yes, and I kind of damn all of you voted. Anyway, JK. It was bad, man. I'm gonna rip this apart on Wednesday. That's the plan, on Wednesday. This movie was bad. It was the fact that they dared even just have the whole Beast Wars thing when it wasn't earned. The human shit was, it was just about this guy named Noah. And one day he jacks a car, and the car happens to be Mirage, and the key, which is the fucking, okay, I don't want to go off on it, the whole video, but my god, the action wasn't that great. I mean, I could see some people being like, oh, the action was fun. It didn't do anything for me. Optimus Prime's portrayal, where he's like basically anti-human, and he has to learn to trust humans, and it was so bad. And the whole movie also was just, let's just play, because it was set in 1994, so they're like, let's just play 94 rap songs, which some of them I like. They even played fucking Cream from Wu-Tang Clan. I like that song. Doesn't fit a Transformers movie. It just, and also, the movie, it's bad itself. It just feels like, let's just play all this good music just because our movie is bad. And it just, in general, I just don't think that music fits with Transformers. It fucking doesn't. Like, at whatever, like, problems I have with that first Bayformers film had a solid score. Like, even not taking out Linkin Park, they actually had a score. Like, the score in this is just generic. The characters you don't give a fuck about. There's like a good, because I didn't see it in theaters, so I should actually see where we're at. I had to pause it a couple times to go off, man. But the wasted like 30-40 minutes introducing our bullshit human characters. They have to get the thing called the key. There's no Decepticons, which makes no fucking sense. So there's only 3 Terracons, because Ultron, why is he in this movie? He is pointless. A lot of the scenes you see in the trailer, he doesn't, even when because you don't see him, even as a fucking planet, you just see like parts of him. Towards the end, he shoots out like these little fucking robots when the portal open. It was bad. Ultron was so wasted. Oh, Unicron. I've said fucking Ultron. Jesus fucking Christ. Unicron was fucking wasted. He didn't matter. And even when he talked, because there's scenes where Scourge would like talk to him, it just didn't know. Scourge was cool in the beginning. The problem was, clearly, a lot of it was, the script says he has to be badass now, and then later in the movie he just gets bitched out. Like, literally, Optimus just kind of beats his ass, whereas in the end it's like, okay, then why couldn't you do that the whole time? Because, the script called for it. It was clear. There was points where I'm just like, okay, that's literally, script called for it. Same with Bumblebee. Because I'll spoiler it. They basically do, if you've seen Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, where Optimus dies and he comes back, they did the same thing in this with Bumblebee. The script called for him at that moment to get beat, and then the script called for him to come back. It didn't feel earned, his return. Anyway, I don't want to spend too long on it, because I'll go into it on Wednesday, but man, it is a bad movie. Optimus's portrayal, I'll just go on that for a second. He was unlikable. Like, yeah, it was Peter Cullen. Like, it was cool hearing his voice, but it doesn't matter when you're having him just having him to learn lessons from other characters. I'm not necessarily inherently against that, but the way this movie did it was just cringe. The Maximals were pointless. Like, really, the only Maximal that really, the plot actually really cared for was Optimus Primal. Because Cheetor or Rhinox don't really matter. They're just there. Like, the other ones are just there. It should have been the Predacons, not the fucking Terracons, because at least it would have been cool to see Megatron as a fucking T-Rex, but no. We had to do the Terracons for some reason. It's a lore, and it's all around a bad movie. Don't see it. It was just a giant waste of time. In the thumbnail, which I have, there's an exosuit, because some point in the movie, Mirage, I guess, gets destroyed, and he can't, like, fight. So he can, like, take himself apart and basically make an exosuit. I think is what it's called. Apparently, it's from the cartoon, but I was watching it. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is why is this human getting Iron Man armor? But apparently, fucking that's in the cartoon. But for me, shit like that doesn't work in the movies, and even in the cartoon, I think it's kind of cringe. I don't want to see humans fighting Transformers. At least not like that. Maybe in like a jet or something. Like that's like the most I'm cool with. I don't want to see a human in like physically fighting a Transformer. Even an arm, that's cringy to me. That just look. Have the Transformers fight the Transformers. That's what I fucking watch these movies for. But anyway, let's actually get to the point of the actual video now. Lost World, I just feel like gets this reputation of just being a bad sequel, or it started the bad Jurassic sequels, and I don't understand, because for me, this was always the perfect sequel. It maintained the magic of the original, but also brought in like a horror element, and I think partially maybe why I like it. I'm a horror guy, and granted, it's weird because even when I wasn't fully a horror guy, I always liked that tone. So I always did like that darker tone it had. I like the dinosaurs are off. There's no fences. It feels like you're in the actual natural environment. It makes it kind of scarier that way. I've seen arguments like people don't like some of the human characters, and I'm not going to necessarily defend that. Like I won't defend Nick Van Owen as a character. There are decisions where that like does lead to deaths. Same as Sarah Harding. Why wouldn't she have taken her jacket off when she even knew the T-Rex would be smelling the baby Rex's blood? So stuff like that, I won't defend. But I think the fact that when I see people try to say JP3 is better, it's like, get out. JP3, I will keep saying this, nearly killed the franchise. You break up Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler for no fucking reason. They don't, even though the first movie says, oh, they're going to have kids, and then they don't even do. You just break them up. So you can have that shitty scene in the end where the military get them, because her boyfriend, I guess, in this, or husband, is like in the military. You could have even just done a situation where it was like a brother. Fucking hell movie. Anyway, I don't want to go in on JB3, but it's just, you can't tell me. This has like some of the greatest deaths. The Eddie Carr scene. I mean, that is like, that scene always gets me. Like, it's the fact that you see two, because it also just, I think this movie really in general, the way when people are put in dire situations, you actually feel like you're in the moment. Like that scene specifically with Eddie Carr, I can feel myself being in that car, and you're trying to pull your friends from the trailer back up from the cliff, and then fucking you got two T-Rexes on the side of your car. Like that sequence, man. That's like a you're fucked moment. And I just feel like they really went like kind of extra with in the good way. It was, I think some people also maybe didn't like it because Alan Grant wasn't back. It was some of the, like the gymnastics scene, that is cringe. I'll be honest. I kind of fast forward that part a little bit. I just kind of skip ahead to where like Sarah's getting chased by the raptors. I don't need the gymnastics scene's a bit much. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. You don't want to make your raptors look like bitches. But other than that, I love the grizzled, kind of jaded Ian Malcolm in this. Like, cause he feels like he's even more right. He's only going back because his girlfriend went to the island, and that scene where and then I love the introduction of new characters like Roland Tembo. I think he was a great character, and the fact there's a lot of deleted scenes out there where you actually get a lot more of his backstory, and it's not backstory, but you kind of like see what he does leading up to going to Sorna. And I think another reason, I know I'm kind of jumping around, but it's just there's a lot with this one for me. It's like the lore, it builds on the lore of Jurassic Park, in my opinion. I think it adds to it perfectly. Where you find out Sorna is where they have the dinosaurs before they take them. They were going to take them to Nublar. That's where we learn that. yeah, but like, going back to like the dire situations, like the scene on the cliff where the T Rexes knock them off the cliff, the trailer off the cliff, and Sarah's hanging. Like you feel like you're in that moment, and when the fucking phone drops and it breaks the glass, and Ian has to grab her, like that was a great fucking scene. Like, and even when the T Rex attacks the campsite, that was a great scene. I just think there's a lot of good moments. And then for me, probably another great kill is that long grass scene, even though it's not that long. When the Raptors are like in the Ajay is like, don't go into the long grass, and then they all do, and you just see the Raptors, pulling people through. It was so fucking good. It was like that's one of my favorite, besides like the iconic kitchen scene from the original. That is one of my favorite like Velociraptor scenes. Is that moment like it really showed like how dangerous they were because they're in the open now. Because like in the first one, they were in the kitchen. They didn't have like a big opening. Like it was like Steven Spielberg kind of can show like what raptors can really do. Because in the first one, they were inside a building. Even when they were outside, you didn't get like a big chase scene. Like they were more in the shadows, and then they got when they killed Muldoon. So in this movie, you actually got to see them kind of all out in that scene. That's why I love it. I just think there's more good than bad with this movie. I can understand if you don't want to say it's as good as the first one, like I do. I can understand that, but I don't. I just don't get the hate like that. Like this built the music. The music was amazing. Like it built on the lore, and the music fit the movie. Like they went more like it has like an adventure feel to it, but it was kind of dark. It has like a little bit of a darker tone to it. But like the main theme that plays throughout the movie, I fucking love it. It's like they went all out with the score. And as a T Rex fanboy, I'll admit this movie. I think that's another reason. I'll throw my bias with the T Rexes in there. Like this is probably my favorite film in terms of T Rex. I love the original, but this film made the T Rex scary. Just every situation where the T Rex, you saw it when you first saw them, when they first attacked the trailer, or even when you just heard them. Like you didn't even see them yet, you just hear that iconic roar, and then you see them at the trailers, and then the where they kill Eddie Carr, which I'm going to go into in a second because that scene alone. Even when it goes to San Diego, and I know people don't like this sequence because they feel like it's too Godzilla, but for me, it works for the story. Now the world knows what InGen has been up to because only like certain people knew what happened with the first one. So now the world knows because now you got a T-Rex in the city. And for me, just the scene where the kid's in bed and he wakes up and you just sees a T-Rex in his windows, like that's a cool fucking scene. Like, and for me, it was fun. Like, I understand Steven Spielberg felt like he had to, because he ended the first one with a T-Rex. He probably felt like he had to do that again. But I thought it worked here. I'm happy they didn't do two T-Rexes. That was one of the ideas. It was going to be both of them, which I think that would have been overkill for me. I think, because then you would have to figure out a way I can believably, you can get both of them. So I think they did a good job of just doing the one. But, and then I like the way it ends. Like the T-Rex is back on the island, and you just see like all the dinosaurs, and the iconic music starts playing, and we get to see a pterosaur. Like it's just a solid ending, and you get to see the way they even do herbivores, like the pack eaters fucking shit up. That scene where they destroy the hunters. And I think that's the other thing. This film was good because it really showed these animals being animals. That was my beef with some of the newer Jurassic World, from post Jurassic World, because I would really say the last two had this problem, where only the hunters and certain people can get killed, which that's stupid. These are animals. They don't look at humans as you're bad or you're good, you're food. So it would make sense. Like Eddie Carr, yeah, he was doing the right thing, and I've seen some people bitch about this scene because he didn't deserve it. It's not about deserve. These are animals. They don't look at that. They don't look at people as like fucking good or evil. It's about they're predatory. They're gonna eat you. And I think it works because it makes Eddie Carr's sacrifice that much better. But yeah, it is brutal. Just going in that scene, and then when the Rex is ripped the hinges off, it's like you kind of knew he was fucked. Because he had a trank, but his gun was stuck to a net, and there's two of them, and it's not like he can just make a dash for it. So it's like he's fucked, man. And they really made you feel it in that scene. And then when he gets grabbed, and then you don't expect it to be that brutal, and they split him in half. It's like, bro, like that's my favorite kill in JP ever. Like that is not just because of the violence, but it's such a sacrifice for Eddie Carter. He goes out like a hero, trying to save his friends. So I just think there's more good than bad with Lost World. I just think like the hate for it that I see is a bit overkill. Like I'm not saying like I won't fully defend the new Jurassic World films and say like I can be fine with people going in on those, but this one I just think it's undeserved. I think it's as good as the first one. There's more good than bad. There's little things I won't fight people who don't like the San Diego sequence because maybe they feel like it's jarring and maybe I can give you the transition is a bit weird, but it for me works and I just love it personally. So, but overall, I just had to make this video and figure since we're and it actually is better I did it today anyway because tomorrow is the 30th anniversary, and I'm going to be doing a video called Why Jurassic Park Matters to Me on, like, since it's the 30th anniversary of my favorite film ever. I might as well, it won't be a review, because I already reviewed it. It's going to be more just kind of why it matters to me, so, and I'll be doing that, and along with my 88 list. I'm going to try to do that since I didn't do it on Monday, and then, so on this Monday, I can get to 89. So, anyway, that's my plans so far for the rest of the weekend. But I'm gonna cheers out, and I'll talk to y'all later. But Lost World's great. Talk to y'all later. Peace.